A lot of investors may have seen a recent Financial Review article where it mentioned Sentinel currently have Caneland Shopping Centre in Mackay under due diligence. While we wouldn't normally talk about the property so early in due diligence, we have been getting phone calls, so it is appropriate that we discuss it. As most investors know, Sentinel have been in Mackay for many years and it has been a very good area for us. We know Canelands well. We have recently purchased Casuarina Square in Darwin, and that centre completely dominates the area. There are similarities with Canelands. It dominates the greater Mackay region. When people come in from the rural, regional mining areas, Canelands is where they come to shop. We were very surprised when we inspected the property recently, the number of quality national and international tenants that aren't there. We have them now in Casuarina Square. To get to Darwin from Brisbane, 4 hours flight, you're up there for the day, another 4 hours back. Canelands in Mackay is only 1 hour flight. We really are surprised that those tenants are in Darwin, but they're not in Mackay. We think there's great opportunity to get quality national, international tenants to Canelands. It's a magnificent centre. At its peak, it was valued at 600 million. We're buying it for a bit over 300 million. We think, once again, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. You can never build another shopping centre like that. Some of the information we received during the marketing period supplied by Jones Lang LaSalle referred to costs of rent. The average cost for specialty stores in Canelands is 12.4% of turnover. Urbis say that the average cost across Australia is 17.5%. While we know tenants have to have the capacity to pay, and we have no intention of getting rents up to 17.5% of turnover, if we go a midpoint of say 14%, you'd find the net income would increase enormously. That is one of the things we will be working on. We see enormous opportunity. The average spend at Casuarina Square is $45 per person per visit. In Canelands, it is $67 per person per visit. So you can see there's much more money in the Mackay region. Now, while they don't get as many visitors as Casuarina Square, I think a large part of not getting more visitors is they don't have the right tenants. There is over 200 tenants when you include the specialties, majors, mini majors and kiosks. There are no sporting stores. In a centre of that size, not to have some sporting store does seem a little bit odd to us. We think there are a lot of easy wins in this centre. It is also worth mentioning the increase in activity in acquisition of retail centres. A lot of the larger institutions, particularly overseas, that are quite often in front of the Australian investors, have started jumping back into retail in a big way. When you look at the yield on offer for a quality retail property like Canelands, it absolutely dominates its market and has significant upside. We're buying that at excess of 7%. To buy a high quality industrial property, you're talking 3.5%. That doesn't have any upside. It does seem ridiculous. Now, for a long time, people have been nervous about retail. One of their reasons was online shopping. While online shopping will never go away, I think some of the interesting observations are during the COVID lockdown, online shopping was very busy. And they said a lot of people who had never tried online shopping were doing it. What we've now seen, and the facts and figures out for the United States, is there are more people going through shopping centres now than ever before. I think a large part of this is people who tried online shopping didn't like it. Clothes turn up, shoes turn up, and they don't fit. Now they can go out shopping, they're saying, bugger this, I'm going to go to the shop, I'll try it on, and I'll buy it there. So that is the facts. The numbers that they're getting through shopping centres now are greater than they were before COVID-19. One of our senior staff down at a major shopping centre on the Gold Coast, and I won't mention Robina because I don't want to upset the current owners, he bought something with click and collect. He goes around the back and there's signs, don't enter, traffic, keep clear. He calls Kmart and said, is this the location? Yes, that's it. Then he finds a little sign, collection centre. He gets the product, it didn't fit. He then has to take it back in the store. He said, I'm never going to do this again. Now, while that isn't everyone's experience, When you buy online, you don't know what the product is until you get it. If you've had to wait a week for it, you get sick of doing it. I don't shop online. You find different brands, different sizes. What fitted in a size 9 shoe from one manufacturer isn't with the other. It might be size 10. While a lot of people that have shopped online, one of the biggest names, of course, is Amazon. Some years ago, I was in Berlin meeting with PwC. Those people there could actually order online while they're at work. Products would get delivered every day. And that's similar in Sydney and Melbourne, and Brisbane, where you have the Amazon warehouses. As you get to regional areas, they don't have the warehouses, so it has to come from the capital cities. So you don't get the daily deliveries. It comes down to how many days does it take. We've spoken to a lot of people up in Darwin where it takes a couple of weeks. Now, while Amazon may dispute that, that's up to them. I can only go on what people tell us. In any of the regional areas, they don't get that delivery. What we have seen, and people can do the research themselves, online, it normally isn't cheaper. You can buy it cheaper in a store. It is a convenience. Sit at home, get delivered that day. If it's not that day and it becomes a few days or weeks, it is much better to go to the shopping centre. You can go to the shopping centre, buy it today. If it doesn't fit, you exchange it. You buy it online, it arrives in a few days, a week, it's no good, you send it back, it's painful, and you don't get the interaction. So the people who had never shopped before, and while we're in lockdown, they did shop, and it boosted the figures for online shopping. What it's now done is they realise, I don't like online shopping. I actually want to go and buy exactly what I want, not what I thought I was going to get online. People are returning to the shopping centres in droves, and if you have a quality centre that is clean, safe, has the right variety of product, people will go back continually. And what we see particularly in the tropical areas is when it's very hot, people go there more often. We've seen that in Asia through our trips over the years. You go to Bangkok, Singapore. During the day, people go to shopping centres. And we now know why. It's too damn hot. You see that in Darwin. If it's 37 degrees, 90% humidity, you're not going for a jog. You're not taking the kids down the beach because most of the time you want to keep your kids. You don't want the crocodiles taking them. While Mackay isn't as hot as Darwin, it's tropical. It is humid. While Caneland is a high-quality shopping centre, you need to keep reinventing shopping centres, giving people more reasons to come, more reasons for people to spend. One of the things that a lot of people have admitted is while they weren't big on going to shopping centres before, with the COVID lockdowns, they missed the interaction. They're going to shopping centres. Now, whether that's just to go to a coffee or actually do some fashion shopping, they are centres of activity. But it's important that you not only have products for the women for fashion, but you also have things for the men, whether it's a sporting store, whether it's a tavern. You need to provide something for all the family. One of the things we certainly will focus on with Caneland is creating family entertainment. It is a 66,000 square metre shopping centre with no family entertainment. There are enormous opportunities in this centre and other regional centres. We're not investors in the CBD where there is so much competition. You go to regional areas where you dominate, there is no other competition. There's a lot of money. The average income in Mackay is the highest in Queensland, certainly one of the highest in Australia, if not the highest in Australia. People want to spend money. We want to provide more opportunities for people to spend their money at Caneland. People love to spend, they love the excitement. We want to help them out wherever we can.